So for my 4-week project this semester, I made a low poly portrait. So to understand kind of what you need to know about this project, you're going to first have to know what polygons are. In 3D modeling, computers use shapes to make up the model, and it kind of gives it a 3D look by using different angles on the shapes, and it kind of tricks our eyes into thinking that this picture has more layers than it really does. And so the more polygons in a picture, the smaller they become, the triangles, and it also kind of tricks our eyes into making it look more realistic. And so the less polygons you have, the less realistic it looks, and that's kind of where my project was going. So of course the face isn't a computer generated image or model, but the desirable effect that I was going for was to make it look more like a computer model and kind of so yeah. And first off, I started my project by taking a few photos, and finally I found one that would work. Once I found that, I booted up Photoshop and threw that in, and I used the paintbrush to make a bunch of triangles. I don't have a video of that in the background, but I have kind of what happens next. Because I had to make triangles, that kind of took a while, but if I would have made other shapes, it probably wouldn't have worked as well. That's just kind of what my tutorial told me to do. I'll put a link of that at the very end, the tutorial I used. And so, as you can see in the background, I used a lot of different shapes and sizes, all triangles, but different sizes of triangles and different angles. And the details that I wanted to have a little bit better were kind of like the eyes. They were small triangles. So after I finished doing that, I sent that file into Illustrator, and I made the shapes. I kind of redrew the shapes with the pen tool on a different layer. And so that kind of took me a while to figure out, but once I got the pen tool working good, it worked really well. But my only setback for that was I just traced, and you can kind of see in the video, it looks like I do it twice. And the first time you can kind of see I don't make shapes, I just kind of make a line that follows it. And that's not good for Illustrator. It kind of works for Photoshop, but not for Illustrator. So I had to redo all of that. And when that was finally done, I started using the eyedropper tool, and so I would select a color that I wanted, and then I'd select the shape, and then that would change it to whatever I wanted. I would usually just use whatever was on the background image within that triangle, but sometimes I would go back in and kind of change it, tweak it a little bit to make it look more not like pale. Like I turned out looking like I was really pale. So after doing my entire face, I went up and touched up the colors, like I said, to make it look better. And then I also kind of had to extend my body because you'll later see the original photo and then the final photo. And my frame was like an 8 by 11, which is the normal size of a piece of paper. And so I had to kind of extend my body because the photo that I used was not the same dimensions. So that looked really odd, abnormal. And so I decided to take out some of the triangles and kind of, I'm not for sure what I'd consider it, but like you could see through, and yeah, so that's my project.